Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, Inspector General of Police orders manhunt on kidnappers of Enugu of Catholic priests and 5 pastors of the Redeemed Christian Church of God abducted today. President Muhammadu Buhari insists Boko Haram terrorists have lost their insurgency campaign in the northeast, but admits the groupers opened up new forms of threats on other fronts. FCT High Court Director of Finance dies in Abuja flood as residents call for government's intervention. And NATO to avoid a new arms race with Russia after US formally withdraws from a key nuclear treaty with Moscow.
On business news tonight, federal government says it expects more licensed modular refinery operators to soon commence operations.
On sports news tonight, Stuart Baxter resigns as head coach of South Africa after more than 2 years in charge of the senior national team, Bafana Bafana.
The Inspector General of Police today ordered a double massive manhunt for the killers of Reverend Father Paul Ofu and 5 kidnapped pastors of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. A Catholic priest was in charge of St. James, the Greater Parish Catholic Church, Uboka in Enugu State. He was killed by gunmen on the Ihe-Agudu Road on Thursday. Police spokesperson Frank Umba says crack detectives from the IGP Intelligence Response Unit, the Forensic and Homicide sections of the Force Criminal Investigations Department, have now been deployed to Enugu to complement the command in the investigations.
The IGP has already directed crack detectives from the Force Headquarters Abuja, specifically from the Force CID, detectives with specialization in investigations of homicide, forensic background, and those in intelligence and core operations to move to Enugu State to support the Enugu State Police Command in the ongoing investigations. We are very positive that in the fullness of time, the person or persons behind that heinous crime will not only be identified, but will be apprehended and will be made to serve the full weight of the law. In a similar vein, there are also massive search and rescue operations going on right now in some identified forest locations in Ogun State. The Commissioner of Police in charge of Ogun State, CP Makama, is personally leading that charge. We are also deploying additional operational and tactical support for that very important assignment. We just want to appeal for calm. We want to reassure citizens that we will continue to do everything that is humanly and operationally possible to ensure that not just that Enugu State is safe, but that the entire length and breadth of this country is safe.
Looking at Catholic priests in Enugu protesting the killing of their colleague by gunmen yesterday. A Catholic priest, Reverend Father Paul Ofu, is said to have been shot dead by armed persons. The priests marched towards the Enugu State Government House over the gruesome murder, chanting "No security in Enugu."
His Excellency and the people that attended the meeting have come up with a communique. His Excellency, on behalf of the good people and government of Enugu State, in conjunction with all the security agencies in Enugu State, have condemned in totality the dastardly act. The state government also resolved to have air surveillance in all the forests that these dastardly incidences are taking place.
Meanwhile, the Ogun State Police Command has been speaking on the abduction of 5 pastors. According to the police public relations officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi, the victims were abducted while traveling from the eastern part of the country when the commercial bus they were traveling in was blocked around 3 a.m. by gunmen at a location between Ondo and Ogun states. He, however, said that the command could not ascertain that the abducted persons were ministers of the Redeemed Christian Church of God who were on their way to the church ministers' conference holding at the Redemption Camp in Ogun State. Speaking further on the abduction, the police PRO explained that the gunmen, after forcing the vehicle to a halt, whisked away 4 men and a woman into the forest, leaving the driver, a sick passenger, and his wife in the vehicle. He, however, said the Commissioner of Police in the state, Bashir Makama, has personally led the police rescue team to the location.
The Commissioner of Police and our tactical squad, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, Anti-Kidnapping and Anti-Cultist Unit, the Police Mobile Force, all of them, they are there now, combing the bush. And we have been able to geolocate where these hoodlums were. But we need to be very, very tactical. We need to be professional so that the lives of those abducted victims will not be jeopardized. If we do anything that affects the life of any one of them, that means the aim of our operation will have been defeated. That is why we are trying to act professionally. And I can assure you that with the operation going on right now, we are going to rescue those people on hot. Not only that we are going to rescue them, the perpetrator of this dastardly act, they are going to be brought to book. That I can assure you. And any moment from now, we are going to hear the good news that they have been rescued. So the operation is still ongoing.
Authorities of the Nigerian Army have confirmed that 2 soldiers were killed, 3 others wounded during a gun battle with armed bandits in Benigwari local government area of Kaduna State. A statement issued by the Army says the soldiers who were attached to the Operation Clean Sweep carried out clearance operation in Kuduru Forest to flush out remnants of armed bandits, kidnappers and other criminal elements in Benigwari when the incident occurred. It adds that 10 of the bandits were also killed by soldiers, while others escaped with gunshot wounds during the operation. The statement also disclosed that the 2 soldiers were among the 5 that were wounded during the exchange of fire with bandits, adding that the bandits' camp was also destroyed. According to the statement, the General Officer commanding 1 division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Farouk Yahaya, who has visited the wounded soldiers at the 44 Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna State. Meanwhile, the president is insisting that Boko Haram has lost its insurgency campaign in the northeast, but admitted that the group has opened up new forms of threats in other fronts. President Buhari was reiterating his government's commitments to the security of Nigeria and the safety of the West African sub-region at the graduation ceremony of the National Defense College Course 27 in Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari arrives at the National Defense College 2019 graduation ceremony. 127 participants, including 17 foreign nationals of Course 27, are graduating this year.
Your Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President.
The commandant of the college, Rear Admiral Maxine Kadiri, boasts about the rising profile of the college, established in 1992 and known for its research.
Mindful of the linkages between previous national borders, porous national borders, and the security challenges in Africa, the college is collaborating with the African Union to conduct a course for senior border management executives in Africa, with a view to profiling strategic options for a viable continental border management system.
The President presents each participant with a certificate.
Hey, Yoma.
Sir.
One participant won 3 awards, including the President's Commander-in-Chief Prize. President Muhammadu Buhari then reflected on the state of the nation's security situation as he gave the graduates a charge.
For the Nigerians amongst you, the graduation today is a clarion call to duty and service to your country. The nation needs you, your services, ministries, departments and agencies need your fresh ideas. In the coming years, all of you, Nigerians and allied graduates, will be called to account for the period of strategic training in the college, and you must not fail your nations.
The President hopes that the 27-year-old college can become a regional hub for research and learning on conflict management and security to promote international peace. From the National Defense College, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Staying with security matters, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole says it has destroyed a Boko Haram terrorist hideout and killed some fighters at Alafa on the fringes of Sambisa Forest in Borno State. According to the Air Force spokesperson, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, the airstrike was conducted yesterday following intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions that revealed the presence of the terrorists along with their logistic supplies and equipment in a group of structures within the settlement. He adds that the ATF dispatched 2 Alpha jets to attack the location, scoring accurate hits in the target area, which led to the destruction of some of the structures and equipment as well as the killing of several terrorists. According to him, the airstrike is in continuation of efforts to wipe out the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast. Authorities at the FCT High Court today identified Director of Finance, Mr. Tony Okecheme, as the only victim of the flood incident that swept some parts of the city today. The head of the Information Department of the court, Mrs. Tabitha Kangiwa, confirms to Channels Television that the victim was on his way to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport when their car was swept by the flood. Some parts of the nation's capital were flooded this morning after a heavy downpour. Our correspondents captured the moments when officials of the FCT Emergency Management Authority tried to rescue those trapped.
Worst hits from the flooding this time are the Karu, Lokogoma and Galadimawa axis of the nation's capital. Galadimawa is a 15-minute drive away from the city center, and the flooding in this area comes as a bit of a disappointment, as eyewitnesses say a similar incident was recorded right here just a week ago.
There was heavy rain last week, and here was full. There was full water here. He nearly carried 2 people. And see today again. See today again. I was just coming now. I was just hearing that this rain now, I said there was more to inside. Maybe 2 cars.
Another eyewitness gives us a breakdown of today's flooding incident.
I saw 2 guys standing on top of the water. I was like, what happened? They say they want to drive and pass to the other side, the road that links to Jabi. So, and the water start keeping going up when the water covered their cars. When the water start carry those guys, we will even see how we can, but unfortunately the water carry those guys before the NEMA people can enter inside the waters.
Now, according to the people who live in this particular area, they're saying that 2 people are still trapped inside of this particular water. They say their car is still in there, and the NEMA officials and fire service on the other side of the bridge are trying to see what they can do to rescue as many people who have been caught up in this flood situation as possible. After hours of efforts, one of the victims is rescued by the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency.
2 people were drowned. 1 person has been rescued. We are in search of the 2nd person. That is what we are doing. So we have local divers and we have a speedboat that they are here searching. So with time, by the grace of God, we'll find them. Thank you very much.
The flood situation in the nation's capital has become a recurring decimal. Every year, the government is called upon to do something about it. It's mostly blamed on people who build houses on waterways in the FCT. Hopefully that call is answered this year. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
In part 2 after the break, the Federal Ministry of Works, Power and Housing reschedules reconstruction of Begakara axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway until September 2nd. Stay with us.